Hey everyone, your favorite Gallivanter here. Sunshine, turquoise water, and island vibes. Florida Keys, here we come. Ditch the suit and tie because we're hitting the open road for an epic adventure of the 10 incredible things you must experience on your Florida Keys road trip from Homestead to Key West. This chain of islands stretches way down south, connected by the incredible Overseas Highway. But the story behind this scenic stretch is even more fascinating. Back in the early 1900s, it wasn't a highway at all. Instead, you would have found train tracks conceived by the father of modern Florida, Henry Flagler. Flagler was an oil tycoon who saw the potential of Florida as a tourist destination. He had already extended his train line down the east coast of Florida to Miami by the late 1890s. However, his ambition did not stop there. He envisioned train service all the way to Key West, which was then considered a vital port city. Constructing a rail line over open water was a monumental feat. 3 hurricanes threatened the project, and countless challenges had to be overcome. Despite the odds, Flagler persevered, finally completing the Overseas Railroad to Key West in 1912. This engineering marvel not only boosted tourism, but also played a crucial role in the development of the Florida Keys. While the Labor Day hurricane of 1935 caused major damage to the line, Flagler's legacy lived on. What he built became the foundation for the Overseas Highway, which we travel on today. So as we cruise down this scenic stretch, remember the incredible story behind it. The Florida Keys would not be the paradise destination it is today without the vision and determination of Henry Flagler. Now buckle up, because this Florida Keys adventure is about to take off. Our first stop is a South Florida legend and one of my favorites for nearly 20 years, the Robert is Here fruit stand in Homestead. This family business started with a simple roadside table selling fresh produce grown right on their farm. Legend has it a young Robert, he was only 6 years old at the time, helped his dad sell their harvest. To attract customers, his dad scrawled, "Robert is here," on signs on either side of the table. That day, they sold out of everything, and a future entrepreneur was born. The fruit stand has grown into a quirky must-see, but the heart of it all is still the incredible selection of fruits. Don't be shy, the friendly staff is always happy to answer questions and recommend something delicious and exotic. But let's be honest, the real reason most people pull over and keep coming back to Robert is Here is for the legendary milkshakes. These aren't your average drive-through concoctions. Here they use fresh fruit, hand-cut every morning, and they blend it with just enough milk and ice to create a creamy masterpiece. They even have seasonal specials, so you never know what flavor adventure awaits. So next time you're cruising down to the Keys, don't miss your chance to grab a piece of Florida history, some exotic fruit finds, and the creamiest milkshake you've ever tasted at Robert is Here. Scoot on down the Overseas Highway and we're in Key Largo. This island is a gateway to the underwater world. John Pennekamp State Park offers incredible snorkeling and diving. But if you're more of a landlubber, there's always a slice of key lime pie waiting for you at Mrs. Mack's Kitchen. Moving on to Tavernier, we have a soft spot for 2 locations. The Florida Keys Wildbird Rehabilitation Center is a must for animal lovers, and for coffee fiends like myself, Cafe Mocha whips up the most delicious lattes. But the real star of Tavernier is the Blonde Giraffe Key Lime Pie Factory. The brightly painted building with the van parked outside instantly puts a smile on my face. Classic key lime pies sit proudly on display, their meringue peaks begging to be devoured. We decided to take our selections out back to the adorable Serenity Garden, a shady space filled with picnic tables and hundreds of colorful love locks. Couples from around the world have left behind this symbol of love over the years, adding a unique touch to this already special place. We chose both traditional key lime pie versions, one with meringue and the other with whipped cream. The crumbly crust is the perfect foundation for the tangy, yet perfectly balanced key lime filling, with the meringue adding a touch of sweetness that ties it all together. We washed it all down with a frozen key lime concoction before getting back on the road. Next stop, Islamorada, the sport fishing capital of the world. Here we have Betsy, the giant lobster at the rain barrel. This fiberglass beauty has been welcoming visitors since the 1980s. Sculpted by Richard Blaze, Betsy took 5 years to complete, a real labor of love. She's a giant leap for crustacean art, measuring 30 feet tall and 40 feet long. Islamorada is also a haven for foodies and shopaholics, but for something truly unique, check out Robbie's of Islamorada. It's now a bustling spot where you can feed giant tarpon straight from the docks. About halfway through the Keys, and we make a pit stop in Marathon. This island is all about nature. The Turtle Hospital is a heartwarming place dedicated to rescuing and rehabilitating injured sea turtles. It's a worthwhile mission and a must-see on your journey south. Continuing down the road, we come across a remnant of history, the old 7-mile bridge Knights Key segment. This section of the original railroad bridge is now a pedestrian walkway where you can soak in the scenic views and imagine the trains chugging along in the bygone era. Despite its name, the new 7-mile bridge is actually 6.79 miles long. It fell a little short of the original bridge's total length, which included connecting islands along the way. We're now at a place that will simply take your breath away, Beah State Park. This gem is famous for a reason. Imagine stepping onto a beach with sugar white sand so soft it seems like powder between your toes. Crystal clear turquoise water laps gently at the shore, inviting you to take a relaxing dip. The park is home to one of the few remaining colonies of the Miami blue butterfly, once thought extinct after Hurricane Andrew. This little beauty has made a comeback in the park's protected habitats. But there's more to this park than just stunning scenery. History buffs will be fascinated by the iconic Old Beah Bridge, a former rail bridge that now serves as a pedestrian walkway. And if you're wondering about that gap, 2 reasons why it's there. It allows boats to pass through, and it's a safety thing, since the other side of the bridge is in such bad shape. After soaking in the magic of Beah State Park, we reach a place dedicated to protecting a unique creature, the National Key Deer Refuge. Big Pine Key is home to these miniature marvels, the smallest subspecies of white-tailed deer in North America. Keep your eyes peeled as you drive through the refuge. With a little luck, you might spot one grazing on the side of the road. But remember, these deer are wild, so admire them from afar and never feed them. And finally, we reached the crown jewel of the Florida Keys, Key West. This vibrant island city has a unique blend of history, culture, and laid-back charm that will leave you wanting more. From the colorful businesses and nightlife along Duval Street to historic landmarks like the home of Ernest Hemingway that's now run by more than 60 polydactyl cats with their extra toes, and Fort Zachary Taylor, a fascinating 19th century military structure where you can soak up the views where the Atlantic meets the Gulf of Mexico. There is so much to explore in Key West that we've made a series of video guides that you can find in our archives. They provide helpful information for your trip planning. And that will do it for this episode, a brief look at just some of the things you can do on your road trip from Homestead to Key West. The Overseas Highway is truly one of the most beautiful drives in America, and one I hope you get to do soon. Hopefully this list will give you some options to add to your bucket list. As always, thank you so much for gallivanting with us. See you next time.